I'm fine. That's the biggest lie in the world, kid. It's the universal mask. The sentence people use when they're drowning and still trying to look like they're breathing. You know what I'm fine really means? It means don't ask. It means I'm breaking, but I don't trust you enough to see it. It means I'm one more disappointment away from exploding, but I don't have the energy to explain the damage. People don't say I'm fine because they're okay. They say it because they gave up trying to be understood. You ever noticed how the strongest people are always the ones who say it the most? Not because they feel nothing, but because they've learned that showing pain invites vultures, not angels. I'm fine is code for I'm exhausted, but I'll smile anyway. I'm wounded, but I don't bleed in public. I'm screaming inside, but silence hurts less than explaining. You don't ask a soldier how many wars he survived. You just notice the way he walks, like every step costs him something. That's how it is with people who say, I'm fine. They don't collapse. They don't complain. They just get quieter, more distant, more ghost than human. And the funniest part? Nobody notices, because the world doesn't check the strong. It just uses them until they crack. You know why people lie about being okay? Because when they finally tried telling the truth, someone said, relax. Don't be dramatic. It's not that bad. So now they just say, I'm fine, because it hurts less than being dismissed. You want to know what's darker? Some people say, I'm fine so often. They start believing it. They become numb, silent, emotionally anesthetized. They don't heal, they harden. And then one day, everyone says, you've changed. No. They didn't change. They just stopped bleeding out loud. You look around and wonder why men don't talk about their pain, because every time they try, someone tells them to man up, or mocks them, or uses their vulnerability against them. So they learn. They learn to hold it in, to choke on it, to swallow the fire, and let it burn in silence. That's why I'm fine is the deadliest sentence ever spoken. It's not a statement, it's a warning. It means I've been dying quietly, and no one noticed. People don't disappear when they give up on life. They disappear when they give up on being heard. So the next time someone says, I'm fine, don't listen to their words. Listen to the silence behind them, because that silence is where the real story is buried. You ever wonder what happens to a person after years of saying, I'm fine? They don't explode. They erode, piece by piece. Not loudly, but silently. In places no one bothers to look. You want to know the real tragedy? It's not that nobody helps, it's that nobody notices, because the world only pays attention when you break in public, not when you bleed in private. The quiet ones, the ones who hold everything in. They're not strong because they can handle the pain. They're strong because they know nobody's coming to save them. And eventually, something inside them snaps. Not in anger, in clarity. They stop caring about being understood. They stop trying to be soft. They stop begging to be seen. That's when I'm fine changes meaning. It goes from I'm hurting, but I'm hiding it, to I don't need you anymore. That's the moment a man stops being a victim and becomes something the world can't ignore. Because when you're done being polite about your pain, you become dangerous. Not violent. It's just untouchable. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to prove your worth. You simply become the version of yourself that walks through fire without asking anyone to walk with you. And oh, the world hates that. It hates a man who no longer needs applause. It hates a man who doesn't break when ignored. It hates a man who no longer begs to be loved. Because you can control a man who wants to be understood. But you can't control a man who's done talking. That's the evolution of I'm fine. First it's a lie, then it's a wound, then it becomes a shield, and finally it becomes armor. You want to know how monsters are made? Not by pain, but by silence. By the years they spent being strong for everyone else, while no one was strong for them. A man doesn't turn cold because he never cared. He turns cold because he cared too much. For too long, for the wrong people. So when he finally says, I'm fine, with a smile instead of a sigh, that's when you should worry. Because that's not a man breaking. That's a man awakening. You know what the final form of I'm fine is? Not peace, not forgiveness, not acceptance. It's indifference. The moment you stop needing what hurt you. The moment you stop explaining your pain to people who caused it. The moment you stop bleeding for people who never bandaged themselves for you. That's when the world looks at you and says, you've changed, and you just smile and reply, I'm fine. And this time, you mean it. Because I'm fine is no longer the lie you tell them. It's the truth you built for yourself. Not healed, not perfect, but undefeated.